is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Papa Jellybean. I am back. So I went back to building in games. This will not be a blueprint. This is just for my own personal gameplay. But this is the undecorated tour of my sanctuary build. So I spent 3 days building, so I finally finished building. So I figured I'd do a little undecorated tour. Then I'll do a decorated tour, because it's going to take me quite a while, as you'll see in the video, to get this all decorated. So when you come to Sanctuary, this is what you're greeted with, is this homemade bridge. What you're going to be noticing is there's some screen tearing. It does work itself out. So you have the sign and this new covered bridge. Now these flags used to be the Canadian flag before 1965. In 1965 is when we adopted the red and white maple leaf flag that you all know today. So like I said, yeah, this is the bridge. And that's what I mean by screen tearing. It does work itself out. It's a pain in the butt sometimes. Now that is not another dog meat up there. So what we got as soon as you come into the settlement, yes, there are gorillas walking around. Those gorillas actually give the settlement plus 10 defense. So over here, I've built in a little pool area. Now those trees come from a mod called Creative Gardens. What happened is when things were going on with the collections, I archived a lot of mods. I put them in a separate folder and I've kept them secret. So I've got a lot of the mods that we used to like. Now there's 12 houses all together. This mod that I use for the housing and the sidewalks and the roads and everything is an add-on to the Snap and Build. I will leave a link in the description to that mod. It is absolutely amazing. It comes with, as you can see, you can barely see it, but there are spotlights up here, and as you can see, they move back and forth. That's also where the gorillas come from. So these are the houses. There's 12 houses. They're all different, but they're all laid out exactly the same. Now across the way, we'll be going across the way there, and what I've done is I combined the stores with the vendor's home. So the vendors have their own personal house, but they also have a store attached to it. Now, a lot of people from the older generation would remember that you go into the store, and it wasn't only just a store, it was also their living quarters. They usually had either a house in the back of the store or they had it on top of the store. I don't really know if there's any more places like that, but when I was growing up, that's what it was. The storekeeper would live in the building along with the store. So what I've done with the stores is I've made them 2 stories. And of course, I've done a lot of balconies because, you just have to have a lot of balconies. But as you can see, the screen tearing's pretty well worked itself out. And then of course, he has a doorway into his residence. His residences are set up the same as the house across the road. Now Chucky, if you know Chucky, these windmills come from his mod, and what they do is they provide 40 water and 40 electricity. Plus they make it looks good in the settlement. They look good in the settlement. So yeah, there are 12 houses, and what I've done using these asphalt curbs and sidewalks is I've set them up in the city blocks. So there we have a church. That's one of the prefabs I use. I use the prefab because I like these churches, and I like putting them in my settlement, so I use them, and they come from, of course, the HC Houses and Stores mod. Then what we have here, these fountains also come from that attachment to Snap and Build. Like I said, I will leave it in the description. What I like about that mod is everything snaps. It's got snap points. Like when I was doing the water before, I used to have to eyeball it. With this mod, you can snap the water actually snaps onto the top of it. It's absolutely amazing. So this will eventually be the hospital. So like I'll have the desk in here and the counters in here. That'll be a little bathroom, a little waiting area here, and then this will be someone's office or maybe even a file room. And then in that snapping mod, this is, look at these these are the stairwells you get from these. Now let's make sure I can do this before I fall off. So I have 3 rooms which are going to be hospital rooms. And this is going to be like a little sunroom. You know how in the hospitals at the end of the road they have hospitals, and they have little sunrooms with a TV and all that, where people that come to visit, instead of sitting in a room, they can come and sit very comfortably. Again, the balcony. So as you can see, it is quite expansive. Because if anybody knows my settlement mods and my previous blueprints, I don't build small. I've actually tried to build small. I just can't. For some reason, I have a very difficult time building a small settlement. This will be the police station. And of course, I used the spiral staircase again. Just a couple of touch-ups I got to fix there. Now, these desks also come from the snap and build mod that I'll be leaving in the description. And as you can see, they're set up with terminals with cameras. They have the handcuffs and everything. And you can assign settlers to these desks. Because what I tried to do is I tried to make sure that there was a lot of working area. And this, of course, is going to be a bathroom. There's so much to this mod that I've only scratched the surface. I'm going to be using it quite often in other builds. Now, these 2 rooms, I'm going to be setting up the jail cells in these 2 rooms. And of course, the lovely balcony again. And then right next to this, I put in the little crafting hut. So this will have like all your crafting, and you got your brains over there working away. And upstairs, you got like a little area. You get some fish tanks over there, a little sitting area, your workbench. Just a little relaxation area for anybody that wants to come up here just to relax. And of course, I put this brick wall all the way around. Now, when I flattened this mod, I took out a lot of the trees in that. So what I've done to replace the trees is using Creative Gardens, I put in some of these trees. So I kind of, oh, I missed the banister there. So I kind of replaced the trees with some better looking ones, so to say. Oh, dog meat. Yeah, you go that way. I'm going this way. Ha 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 ha. Now, Chucky has these greenhouses, and I absolutely love them. Like, look at these. They look absolutely perfect. And like I said, here's the road again, and I put the brick wall in. Now, as far as the basement, it's right here. It didn't go nowhere. So, with doing settlement mods and that, I know how to use Creation Kit and all that, and do pre-combines and previs and all that. So what I did was I went in, I flattened out Sanctuary, did all the pre-combines and previs and all that. So what I ended up with was a very large workable flat area for Sanctuary, so I could make it absolutely new. Now, the nice thing about Chucky's collection is you don't have to use his buildings. You can build your own building, but you can use the asset like the bar. You could use the bar, the tables, the chairs, and everything snaps. So you're not limited to using just his buildings. You can actually use your own. And that's what I do, is I build my own buildings, and then I use his assets to furnish them. Because let's face it, it's nice when the tables and the chairs all snap together and you don't have to sit there and eyeball them. Now, this building here eventually is going to be the school. So I'm going to have 4 classrooms upstairs. I'm not going to go upstairs this time, but there's a circular staircase. What we're going to have here is the school office, school bathroom, like the downstairs bathroom. There's going to be a bathroom downstairs and a bathroom upstairs. And then over here, I'm going to make it into a cafeteria. See, with me, I'm a fuddy-duddy. I hate dirt, so I like using clean builds and making things look new. Because the way I look at it is, if you're going to rebuild the Commonwealth, why not make it new? You know, it's been 200 years, people. Get your act together. And of course, here's the other 2 stores, the armor and weapons stores. And Pinky's, this will be the bar. Now I have a mod that gives me workable crap tables and workable roulette tables that are actually functional, and you can actually go up and use them. I also have working slot machines. So upstairs is going to be like a little type casino area. And of course there's those windmills again. And this here is going to be the restaurant. And like I said, with Chucky's collection, I'll be able to use his diner collection set, the booth, the counter, and all that in here, and I'm not restricted to his buildings. And then here, look at the windows. There's actually a design in the windows. You have 3 choices when you go to do them, and this one here had the little bit of a design in the window, so I thought that'd be kind of different. Ooh, big screen tear there, just a little bit. That's okay. See, it goes away. Now what I've done down here is I've made a fish farm area. Now you can assign settlers to it. They will give you 10 food. So like I said, I'm trying to make it where the settlers have a lot of jobs and they're kept busy, which keeps the happiness up. So, and then we have here for the caravanners, little area for them. And then finally we have the farm. Now that snap and build extension gives you these Brahmin. Now what the Brahmins do this time is they provide 6 food. So you're getting food from them. Look at the beautiful trees. Look at these trees. So you're actually getting food from them. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, little screen tear there. That is the Sanctuary Undecorated tour. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. The algorithm will love you. I'll love you. Everyone will love you. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button, move your mouse a little to the right, and hit that bell icon so you'll be notified each and every time I upload a video. And always remember, wherever the journey takes you, may the road rise up to greet you. I'm Jelly Bean, and thank you so very much for watching.